Welcome to Wisdom Sessions. I'm Zoe, and today we're exploring a topic that many find uncomfortable but deeply human. We have stories from our audience about love, loneliness, and judgment in later life. Master, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. These questions about the human heart, they never grow old, even when we do.
Our first letter today comes from a woman who asked to remain anonymous. She writes, Master, I'm nearly 70 years old. My husband had affairs for years, and I stayed silent. Then I met someone, another lonely soul, and we found comfort in each other. I never meant to leave my husband. I only wanted someone to talk to. But my daughter discovered this, and now my children say I've shamed the family. I know I was wrong, but I'm so lonely. At this age, I no longer desire passion, just someone who understands me. Why must I be judged for that? Master, when an old soul still wants to love, is that a sin, or simply the instinct of a heart that's still alive?
This woman's question touches something profound. You see, old age doesn't kill love, it only quiets it. And in that quiet, one discovers a terrible truth. Loneliness isn't being alone in an empty room. Loneliness is being with someone who no longer sees you. Let me be very clear about something. This woman wasn't seeking a man. She was seeking the part of herself that had gone missing, the part that once felt seen, heard, touched with understanding. When you live for years with someone who doesn't truly see you, you begin to disappear, even from yourself. Society judges because it looks through the lens of morality, not of the heart. But here's what they don't understand. A person cannot live on morality alone. They need warmth, meaning, and the feeling of still being alive. These are not luxuries. These are necessities of the human soul. I will tell you something important. People don't betray out of lust. They do so out of emptiness. This is the key that everyone misses. When you see a person having an affair, don't ask what they're running toward. Ask what they're running from. And usually they're running from a void so deep, so painful, that another person's presence seems like the only escape. Now, was she wrong for longing to love? No. She was wrong only for believing that someone else's love could fill the emptiness within her. This is the crucial distinction. The longing itself is beautiful, human, innocent. But looking outside for what can only be found inside, that's where suffering begins. Loneliness, you see, is the night of the soul. If you light the lamp of awareness within it, the darkness fades. But if you run from it, if you try to fill it with another person, another relationship, another distraction, you'll carry that darkness from one person to another, from one bed to another, and it will never leave you.
That's such a powerful distinction between the longing to love and looking outside to fill an inner void. It helps me understand her situation with more compassion. The story continues, Master. After the truth came out, her children gathered the family and scolded her harshly. They told her, "You're old and shameless. You've disgraced our family." Her husband stayed silent. The children were furious. The neighbors whispered. She said, "I spent my whole life for my husband and children, and now I'm the one being judged." Master, why is it that people can forgive a man's betrayal, yet cannot accept a lonely mother seeking a little warmth at the end of her life?
Now we come to the heart of the hypocrisy. Listen carefully. People are taught morality from a young age, but not compassion. So they know how to judge right and wrong, but not how to see with love. This is one of the greatest failures of society. They forget that this mother lived her whole life for them. Every meal she cooked, every night she stayed awake when they were sick, every dream she postponed, every sacrifice she made. All of that is forgotten in a moment. She made one mistake, born from unbearable loneliness, and suddenly the entire ledger is erased. But here's what's really happening. Society never forgives the weak. It bows before the strong and stones the fallen. This is an ancient pattern. When someone powerful makes a mistake, we find excuses. When someone vulnerable stumbles, we find stones. And her children, they're angry not because they understand the situation. They're angry because they're ashamed. Deep inside, they're terrified. there's a fear running underneath their anger. The fear says, if even my mother can falter, if even she can be weak, who is left strong enough for me to lean on? They need her to be perfect, not for her sake, but for theirs. But the truth is, no one is unshakable. No one is beyond weakness, beyond loneliness, beyond the need for warmth. Only those who dare to admit their weakness, who can stand naked before their own vulnerability, can truly stand tall again. The others just pretend, and their pretense eventually cracks. So what should I tell her? Tell her this: do not apologize for seeking warmth. Only apologize for forgetting that true warmth must first be lit from your own heart. The seeking was natural. The direction was mistaken.
That fear underneath the children's anger, that really illuminates why families sometimes react so harshly. They're protecting their own sense of security. The woman continues, Master. She says, I know it's wrong. I want to stop. But every time I try, my heart feels hollow. I'm afraid of being alone, afraid of coming home to silence. Master, this seems to be the deepest fear, the fear of solitude. How can someone stop when their heart still craves love?
Now we reach the core of the matter. You see, my child, no one escapes their own shadow by walking faster, nor can one escape loneliness by finding another person. This is the illusion that keeps people trapped in cycle after cycle of suffering. Loneliness is the greatest teacher of the soul. I will say this again because it's so important. Loneliness is the greatest teacher. If you can sit alone, without needing voices, without needing touch, without needing validation, and still feel peace, then you are no longer lonely. Then you have discovered something that no relationship can give you. Here's what happens when you stay with someone just to fill an emptiness. That love, that connection, it soon turns into a chain. It becomes a dependency. And dependency always brings resentment, always brings suffering. But when you are full within yourself, when your heart is already lit, then every meeting becomes a miracle. Then love is not a need, but a celebration. Let me share something practical with you. Don't fear loneliness. Embrace it. Sit with it. In the beginning, yes, it will be uncomfortable. Your mind will create 1,000 distractions, 1,000 reasons to run. But if you stay, if you remain present with that loneliness, something beautiful happens. The loneliness transforms. It's like sitting by a dark lake at night. At first, you see only darkness. But if you sit long enough, if you allow your eyes to adjust, you begin to see the stars reflected in the water. You begin to see the beauty that was always there. Loneliness becomes solitude, and solitude becomes peace. This is the space where the heart heals, not by running to another person, not by filling the void with noise and company, but by sitting in the center of your own being and discovering that you were never truly alone. When you emerge from this space, you carry a love that no one needs to own, a love that's free.
The transformation from loneliness to solitude to peace. That's a journey many people need to hear about. Master, I'm thinking about all the people who will hear this story. Many will judge this woman harshly. Others might see their own loneliness reflected in her story. What wisdom can you offer about aging, about love in later life, and about how we view the elderly when they still have emotional needs?
This question opens up something society desperately needs to understand. Youth loves with desire. Old age, if it loves, must love with awareness. This is the beautiful possibility of aging, though few discover it. When you're young, love is full of hormones, full of biological drives, full of possessiveness and jealousy. Young love says, "You are mine," but old love, conscious old love, whispers, "I am grateful you exist." No vows are needed, no bodies must intertwine, only two souls in harmony, knowing that today we still listen to each other, and that is enough. This woman doesn't deserve judgment, she deserves compassion. But more than compassion, she needs to remember something. True love isn't about finding someone to live with, it's about finding the one within yourself to live with. Let me tell you what I've observed. We treat the elderly like they're already dead. We expect them to have no desires, no needs, no longings. We want them to be wise and peaceful, but we don't want to acknowledge that they're still human, still vulnerable, still capable of feeling lonely or desiring connection. But aging doesn't kill the heart. It only makes it more tender, more aware of time passing, more desperate for meaning before the end comes. And when society denies the elderly their humanity, when children treat their parents like furniture that should stay in place, something breaks. So here's what I want people to understand. When you see an elderly person seeking love or connection, don't see shame. See a heart that refused to die before the body did. See courage. See the human spirit that insists on living fully until the very last breath. That's not shameful. That's beautiful. That's what it means to be truly alive.
That reframe is so needed. Seeing it as a heart that refuses to die, rather than as something shameful. Master, for our final question today, I'd like to ask, what would you say directly to this woman and to others who find themselves in similar situations, feeling judged by family and society while struggling with deep loneliness?
I would say to her, my dear, first, breathe. Your life is not over. Your worth is not determined by your children's approval or society's judgment. You are still here, still breathing, still feeling. That itself is sacred. Second, understand this. The mistake wasn't in feeling lonely. The mistake wasn't even in seeking connection. The mistake was in believing that another person could be the answer to your inner emptiness. Learn this lesson not through guilt, but through awareness. Now about your children's judgment. They will either come to understand or they won't. This is not in your control. What is in your control is whether you allow their judgment to crush your spirit or whether you use this crisis as a doorway to deeper self-understanding. I want you to do something difficult but necessary. Sit with your loneliness. Don't run from it. Don't try to fill it. Just sit with it like you would sit with an old friend. Ask it, what are you teaching me? What part of myself have I abandoned? What have I been running from? And here's something crucial. Forgive yourself. Not because what you did was right or wrong, but because carrying guilt is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Your guilt serves no one. Your awareness, your transformation, your growth, that serves everyone. Let this crisis become your awakening. Let this pain become your teacher. At 70, you still have time. Time to discover who you are when you're not trying to be someone's wife, someone's mother, someone's companion. Time to discover the one who has been there all along, waiting patiently beneath all these roles. And remember this, sometimes, even when the hair has turned white, the human heart is still just a child, trying to find its way home. Be gentle with that child. Be the loving parent to yourself that you needed others to be. That's where the journey begins.
Master, that's profoundly moving. The image of the heart as a child trying to find its way home, that will stay with many people today. As we close today's session, Master, is there any final wisdom you'd like to share on this topic of loneliness, love, and judgment?
Just this. To everyone listening, look at the elderly people in your life with fresh eyes. Your parents, your grandparents. They are not statues. They are not finished becoming. They are still growing, still struggling, still hoping. Give them the space to be human. Give them the grace you would want for yourself. And to those who are themselves aging and feeling invisible, your life is not over until you decide it is. Keep your heart open, keep growing, but grow inward, not just outward. That's where the real treasure lies.
Thank you, Master. To our audience, if this conversation has touched you, please subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We read everyone. Thank you for joining us on Wisdom Sessions. Until next time, may you find the courage to sit with your own heart.
May you all find the light within your own darkness. Goodbye.